Hi guys, welcome to Happy Visas again. I've been asked the question, I want to go to the UK on business, what should I do? What is the procedure? What documents do I need? What should I put on the application form? So basically, the first thing you need, obviously, you need a reason to go there. Now, let's say you are going for training. Let's say you work for an international British company and they want to send you 3 months training in the UK. So basically you need a letter from your employer. Let's say for example, the Philippines. You need a letter from them and you need to say, why are they sending you to the UK? So it would be, this is to confirm that we're sending Joe Blogs to the UK for business training with our parent company in the UK. And obviously, you write a little bit about why this training is needed. Maybe you're working on a big project, things like that. And then you would get an invitation letter from the British company saying, look, we have a company in the Philippines. We need to send our staff on training. We're working on this project for NASA, Tesla, whatever. And this, for the implementation of the contract, these staff overseas are key and that they need training in the UK, that we're going to accommodate them in the UK, we're going to be giving them food, and we're going to be covering all their expenses. Now on the application form, obviously, you'd put their details, and the higher the position of the person inviting, the better. So, and you'll need a copy of their passport. So if it's a British citizen who's a British director of a British company, perfect. And and I also include, to show that the British company pays its taxes in the UK, I put a note saying, look, we employ 100 staff. Here's our corporation tax return, CT600, to show that we pay all our taxes, so that they can see it's an established British company who file their taxes, pay their taxes, have staff, and and that just adds a little bit of credibility to the application. Obviously, the applicant, let's say in the Philippines again, they would need to show their bank statements, they would need to show their income from their employer in the Philippines. They need to show, like, if possible, that the correct tax has been paid. Great if they've got a wife and children, they're not going to leave their wife and children in the Philippines and move to the UK. So need to show family ties, property where they live. All things like this. So the supporting documents in brief, excuse me, invitation letter from the UK, employment letter, why they're sending you, the salary that you paid, your position, your start date. You show that you've got family ties with a marriage certificate, birth certificates of children. As I've said, you're not going to leave your kids and move to the UK. If you've got travel history, that's fantastic. If you haven't, look for countries that you don't need a visa. Like, for example, Filipino people do not need a visa to Singapore. Send them to Singapore. And if it's business related, beautiful. If it's something, they're attending a conference, you can also put down that, it has a previous history of, going on business trips overseas. This is all what the entry clearance officer wants to see. And if they've got no travel history, if it's no family ties, then you've got to really, explaining, look, we've got this contract, it's multi-million-pound contract, it's going to help the British company. You've got to be then showing all of these things if the applicant, has no travel history, has no family ties. All these are grounds for refusal. So guys, I hope that answers your question regarding reasons for visiting the UK on business, the things that the entry clearance officer is going to be looking for. I don't get paid for these videos, so if you could buy me a coffee, that would be great. Please subscribe, please like. Thank you very much, guys, and thank you for watching this video. Cheers.